We're launching Microsoft Founders Club, and it is my pleasure to invite you to this series. We have the privilege of bringing together an incredible group of founders and senior leadership team members from Microsoft and other companies like LinkedIn and GitHub. We come together as a community to ideate around the emerging opportunities that generative AI is bringing up. We brainstorm around the agile build scenarios, as well as the skills and capabilities we need to stay relevant in today's economic dynamic. So join us and meet our founders.
Welcome to the next episode in our series, Meet the AI Founders. Today, we have Sanjay Saini from Stemble. So Sanjay, tell us about Stemble. In one line, what does Stemble do?
So Stemble is a decision intelligence platform. We are focusing on how we leverage AI and machine learning in the areas of supply chain and finance by bringing domain and data science together.
That's brilliant. And Sanjay, I still remember we were outside the Microsoft Singapore office, standing in a queue at Yakun, and you were telling me your journey from Oracle to Anaplan to finally building Stemble. How's that journey for you, and what's that inspiration behind Stemble?
Definitely. So I have been in supply chain technology space for a couple of decades now, and I have always been passionate about solving the problems for supply chain areas. And I've done projects in the US, I've done projects in Asia, different styles of working, but you see that the supply chains have a very common problem. I've used these technologies before when I was at Oracle and when I joined Anaplan, great technologies, great companies. But I realized that the offtake for AI and machine learning and the solution which we can bring together with AI and machine learning is totally different era and world. And with cloud AI, it's a deadly combination. And that's kind of where I started thinking of building a platform which can help complex supply chains to really solve demand forecasting problem, supply chain optimization problem, and then how we can link it to the finance area. So that's kind of the journey which has been so far. Of course, I have a team which helps us to put these things together, but that's the idea.
That's amazing to hear. But honestly, it's like I sometimes wonder what made you say like, I need to take this in my own hands and fix it myself.
As you can imagine, when you are working with many companies and you start thinking about, okay, what's the legacy you want to leave behind, right? And that's kind of where the idea came in that, okay, let me build something. And I was lucky that I got into a program from ING Bank where, they had a center here in Singapore, and the venture building process happened. And from there, we actually spun out as a separate entity, taking, funding from Economic Development Board as well as Elevate, which is a deep tech VC here. I wanted to build something on my own and really take it forward because the problem still is not solved based on my past experience. So the idea was to see how can I really leverage this technology to take it forward and solve. And we are doing that today, right? To solve problem for large global enterprises.
So Sanjay, having spent most of your life in the large enterprise B2B software world and now running your own startup, what can both these worlds learn from each other?
So startups are not different from large enterprises, except the problem of startup is that they have all the problems of large enterprises at similar levels. But of course, when you scale up, you require different types of personas and help them. But one key thing which I feel is when you do a startup, you need to first bring people who can come together, who has a similar passion. That's different when you talk about large enterprise, where you talk about jobs rather than passion. So you need to create a team which can go and work together with you because there's nothing there from you started creating something new and taking it forward. Once you take a shape, the product starts selling in the market, then of course you need to bring the practices from B2B side of it that, okay, how I'm going to do the lead generation, how I'm going to do market my product, how I'm going to implement this product. So the practices of large enterprises definitely need to be incorporated, but it takes a little bit time for startup to reach that stage. But the learning from that, having learned from these large companies, definitely we are applying that into our organization. And that's why we are able to work with large global enterprises, right? You need to have the right cybersecurity, you need to have the right people who can talk about the business, you need to be able to have people who can actually talk to the customer and understand the problem and solve it. So all those skills are still required, but the scale becomes different from a startup to a B2B large B2B point of view.
This is really amazing to hear. Honestly, I keep hearing that sentence, the large Fortune 500 company of today started in a garage somewhere in Seattle,
Of course, yeah.
or any part of the world.
Correct.
So Sanjay, how has the partnership been so far, and how do we continue supporting you on go-to-market and product innovation?
Our relationship has been great. We have been using Azure Stack for a couple of years now. The partnership has been mutual in the sense that we have always got support from the engineering team, from the ASEAN team here, and we are able to really leverage the technology stack with the help from solution architects and industry advisors from the Microsoft team to really incorporate some of the key things what they have learned from their practices into our application. So great from a technology point of view. The second part is that the joint go-to-market. I think we are already working on the demand generation side of it and how we can have joint pursuits. And of course, we are looking at a couple of marketing areas where we will work together to really do some active events, marketing events together, from that perspective. Now, when we look at the technology, and you have released new stuff very, very recently, we are already looking at how we can use Microsoft Fabric as well as the Open Azure AI into our applications to really add value to our customers in terms of how we can help a supply chain user or a finance user to really get answers what they're looking for from the data. And that's what we are doing with the technology stack. Yeah.
What is the secret sauce of Stemble? What makes it so unique in the way you solve customer challenges?
Definitely, it's a great question because this is the most asked question from that perspective. Even our customer ask for it. Couple of things, right? So one is the way we have built our platform is to solve a problem of bringing multiple data extracts, be it internal sales data or external data from macroeconomic indicators or industry sentiments data. How do we really bring it together? Of course, you can apply machine learning, but what we have done is we have expertise in terms of building proprietary algorithms to really extract the value of different demand patterns and then generate a forecast or output from our application. It's not just throwing machine learning models, it's actually how you ensemble them, how you bring them together. And we are able to prove again and again with our large global multinational customers, we're better than our competitors in terms of deriving the value. So that's one area we definitely feel. Two is that we bring the expertise from the supply chain domain or finance domain, and how we bring that domain and the data science together is a unique proposition which we bring to the table. And that's what takes us forward. So with great technology in terms of proprietary algorithms and bringing domain and data science together, that's the secret sauce we take to the table, and that's how we are winning the market.
Thank you so much, Sanjay. It's been amazing partnering with you. And thank you, viewers, for listening in. See you on the next episode.